And a look behind the curtain here. Final preparations for the challenge ahead. Hoping to come out of the gates strong. A stunning view of the moon over our broadcast location tonight in Dallas, Texas. And you've got it on 2K Sports for Wednesday night action in the NBA. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. And now in the first half of December, more games under our belt. The power rankings starting to take shape. Look at Utah. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And when you look at the Mavericks, they're happy with this latest stretch of games. This is the time of year for optimism. At this point, anything is possible.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, after a 16-year run where they made the playoffs 15 times and won the NBA title in 2011, the Dallas Mavericks have missed the postseason the last 3 years. But by bringing in 2019 Rookie of the Year Luka Doncic and trading for All-Star Kristaps Porzingis, there's a lot of confidence in Dallas that they will soon be back in the hunt. Kevin?
Seems like they are. Thanks, D.A. Now, when it comes to load management strategy, Doris, should coaches do it along the way as opposed to waiting until the last, say, quarter or third of the season?
Well, Kev, I think you can look to the San Antonio Spurs, who I think were the first to really look hard at what we would now describe as load management. And I think the one thing is you're trying to just make sure guys are prepared for the most important point of the season. You've got to win enough to get in the playoffs and be positioned well, but your guys have also have to be healthy at the end of the year.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Vonleh and Towns, the duo inside. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. And it's Culver in at the 3. And for Dallas, Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. DeJuan Wright is out there with Hardaway. And it's Marjanovic in at the center position. Wiggins, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Well, it's an excellent make, plus the foul, and that's the assertiveness everyone wants to see from the young guy, Wiggins. Boy, for all the talent Andrew Wiggins brings to the table, you wonder what his assessment of the 2018-19 season is. Obviously, he took a step back in terms of his production, and I think that had a lot to do with his lack of consistency with his shot. He's got a ton of talent. Let's see where it takes him.
Free throw good, Wiggins. And with Wiggins, Doris, and his struggles last year, he seemed to be relying more on his outside shot.
You wonder if Wiggins feels the pressure of an NBA that now so heavily emphasizes that three-point shooting. But his strength, to me, is putting the ball on the deck, attacking the rim, and relentlessly going at defenders. He's got to get back to that.
There's the triple. It's rebounded by Dallas. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
They're so close in that one, but that's of no solace to the players. They played their hearts out.
You know what, Greg? Sometimes you play a great game and lose. What you hope happens, though, is it toughens them up a bit mentally, and they figure out how to close it out next time.
Here's Teague. The Mavericks making the shot, and the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. That's foul number 2 for him. Jalen Brunson, he's checked in for Hardaway. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Towns up top. Sweet little floater.
Well, a point guard must understand window of opportunity, and Jeff Teague specializes in exactly that.
Now, here's Doncic. Tight defense on him. Marjanovic with it. Now defended by Vonleh.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the 3. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
Now here's Wiggins. 17 points in his last outing. Nice D from Porzingis. For Dallas, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Here's Doncic. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Just another way. Luka Doncic is such a tough cover. This guy's knack for getting into the painted area and converting both easy shots and contested shots.
Now here's Wiggins. He's been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Pass to Brunson. Back to Doncic. To the middle, and stolen by Vonleh. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. The feed to Towns. Shoots over Marjanovic. No good off the back of the rim.
This has not been a good period for this guy. Out of sync, not letting the game come to him. He's got to settle down and make shots.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And you look at Luka Doncic, 6'7", about 220 Doris. Is he a point guard? A point forward? I mean, where's he fit?
Well, I think in today's modern NBA, where we talk about positionless basketball, he's the perfect fit regardless of where you put him. He can defend wings, he can defend forwards, and offensively, you want him to be in command of the basketball.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And it's tied up with that one. And quite possibly an all-star snub. Rookie of the Year, Luka Doncic. Doris had a chance to be selected in his first season.
Perhaps sending a message, Kevin, with that first teenager ever to put up a 30-point triple-double. Something tells me this young man will have an all-star game appearance or two moving forward.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
And you look at the Mavericks' numbers last season, the need for shooting is obvious.
And I think, Greg, what's shocking is poor shooting is not something you have historically associated with the Mavs. But when you look at it through last season, they took a high rate of threes and a high rate of free throws. And yet, both of those percentages were poor. That's an area for improvement this season.
Now, here's Culver. A 23-point game for him in the win against Memphis.
The other thing I thought was big, guys, was the incredible night he had on the glass. No one wanted any part of him down there.
Marjanovic down low. Vonleh on him. And that one's good. Marjanovic.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Teague with the ball. Brunson covering. Porzingis with the block.
You know, when you drive the lane, you have to know where Porzingis is, because with his reach, he can sneak up and send that shot away anytime.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA. The lead is what it is right now.
I tell you, you can't get stops if you're unwilling to put in the work.
So it's the Timberwolves now, following the score by Dallas.
I'll tell you, a rough quarter for him, and that puts so much pressure on the guys around him.
Puts it up from 15, and another basket for Dallas.
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Well, if you continue to execute at both ends, you can build on this lead.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And, you know, they played a terrific all-around game. The effort level was there as well as the production.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was hard to imagine them being much better at the offensive end. They were so efficient in almost every aspect.
Now, here's Teague. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. To stop the run, Towns kicks to Teague. Towns, the pass to Wiggins. Just 5 to shoot. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Another miss by Minnesota.
Boy, a tough go for him in this quarter. You can see how desperately he wants to get things started. He just can't make a shot.
Of the two offenses here tonight, you can tell theirs is just a bit more in sync.
And I think because of that, they've gotten the better looks to start this basketball game.
Here's Culver. The Mavericks making the shot. Keeps it alive, and Wright pulls it down.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
And Doncic gets it to go.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Minnesota calls timeout.
And with their offense sputtering, coaches got to get them back on track.
And to me, they're just taking too many tough shots. And when they do get an easy one, the confidence just isn't there.
Here's a look at some stats for Kristaps Porzingis. The last 10 games, he has been on a heck of a run. 3rd in blocks. And he's a flamethrower from distance. Top 10 in the league in three-point shooting.
And you aren't top 3 in blocks unless you're committed to dominating in that category. His awareness and hustle is off the charts. Very impressive. And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Marjanovic.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Now here's Teague. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Towns kicks to Wiggins. Can they get it? And the layup is up and in.
Well, how about the aggressiveness of Andrew Wiggins? So good at fighting through the contact, taking the challenge of the defense. That's beautiful.
Here's Doncic. 32 points for him last game against New Orleans. Porzingis finds Brunson. Now Marjanovic passes to Wright. Dallas needs to get off a shot. And Porzingis puts up a deep 3. Can't drop the tough three-pointer. Wiggins surveying the floor. Out of bounds. Dallas takes possession. Well, a great rebounding small forward can give any team an X factor. Let's look at a few guys who have been playing that role over the course of the last month. Second, Luka Doncic.
You know, the work they do on the boards is such a big part of all these players' game. I mean, they play much bigger than the grand majority of small forwards in our league.
Yeah, this is a very physical group of players, and all with a great nose for the ball. They don't shy away from getting down low and pounding the boards with the big guys. In fact, they just thrive on it.
Now Culver, following the Porzingis miss from deep. Now here's Culver. He's covered closely. Off target with his 3. Dallas leading by 9. Here's Wright. And he uses the glass on the layup. Wright's got his second bucket tonight.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
And Teague's got the ball here for Minnesota. Outside, Towns. Porzingis with the block. And they get it back. Doncic against Teague. The kick out to Wright. Shoots the 3. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got 3 assists now in this one. Here's Culver. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Drills the three-pointer.
Very aggressive in terms of looking for his shot. 9 attempts already, but only able to knock down 2.
Now here's Brunson. Teague covering. And here is Doncic. He's got 8 with his first shot attempt.
Well, using every bit of that 7-foot wingspan, Wiggins airmailing it back.
Yes, that goes in. Teague's got it back down to within single digits for Minnesota.
Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
Here's Wiggins. The rebound by Marjanovic. Marjanovic has got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Doncic. Good on the shot. Doncic has got 10. And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game. And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
They have used their size and their strength to get off any shot they want. They've dominated on the interior.
So it's the Timberwolves now. The Mavericks making the shot. Teague can't hit.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Doncic left side. Brunson. Here's Marjanovic. Pass to Porzingis. And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. A different look for Dallas. Powell, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Jackson comes in for Wright. And Barea subbed in for Jalen Brunson. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Towns. Robert Covington comes in for Vonleh. Layman, he's checked in for Culver. And it's Napier in for Teague. Outside for Jackson. 5 to shoot. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. And the Mavericks lead by 15. Now here's Napier. He had 10 points in the win against Memphis. Covington wide open. He fires. Good. And it's Napier with the assist that time.
Right now, Robert Covington in the catch and shoot has so much confidence.
Barea looking for an opening. And there's the pass to Jackson. Back to Barea. Powell trying to free himself up. Wiggins outside. Rebounded by Jackson.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Pass to Doncic. Out to Porzingis. Lets it go from deep. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Porzingis has got 7 points in the game.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
No doubt, Greg. On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
Jang, no luck.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chippy.
Doncic. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
What an aggressive mindset in this period. He's starting to take over.
Napier passes to Layman. 54 seconds left in the first. Passes it to Wiggins. From down low. That shot off the mark. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. This their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
And they won the season series against this club last year, but, you know, then again, so did a lot of other teams.
Now here's Wiggins following the miss by Porzingis.
Oh, really smooth. Andrew Wiggins with the terrific mid-range game.
Mavericks leading by 15. Barea with it. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Porzingis kicks to Barea. Dallas moving it around. Doncic passes to Jackson. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Here's Napier. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him.
You have to love the mindset of Porzingis trying to contest every shot he can. Plays with so much energy.
It's been all about Luka Doncic for Dallas. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. One of the most high-powered scorers in the game, Karl Anthony Towns, knows it's important to keep his teammates involved.
You know, everyone has to get some of the sugar, you know, so making sure you're not just being a ball hog. So I'm just always trying to make sure that I'm taking wide open shots that I think everyone on the team would love for me to take if I have the opportunity. But also at the end of the day, making sure everyone gets a chance to be in the candy shop.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And quite a position here for the Mavericks to be in. What do you think, guys?
I love their effort, contesting shots, trying to intimidate here early on.
Well, as a shooter, when the ball is sent back in your direction enough times, it can certainly have an impact on your mind.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the floor for Dallas, J.J. Barea is out there with Hardaway. Then there's Jackson. Then there's Dwight Powell. And it's Kleba in at center. Now, here's Wiggins. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. And as talented as Andrew Wiggins is, there are games, Doris, when he can fade into the background, and his team needs him the most.
Yes, and the questions become, is he passive? Is he disengaged on the offensive end? And that, I think, can be frustrating, because people around the league will tell you that this young man is as talented and as skilled as any player in the league. It's really, for Andrew Wiggins, about finding a measure of consistency.
Free throw good, Wiggins. Doris, so interesting to watch seven-footers who almost never shot three-pointers make that now a featured part of their game.
Give some credit to the coaches who recognized the game was being revolutionized and that three-point shooting, regardless of position, would become integral to success. So a guy like Marc Gasol, who actually fought the idea of taking threes, Brook Lopez, Nikola Vucevic, all of them have become more integral to team success and more capable NBA players because they can shoot the basketball. It's beautiful.
It is. Evolving and adapting at that size has been something to watch. The Mavericks shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
Shooting two.
That free throw missing.
And you think about the Wolves' history. KG clearly their best player, but Big Cat has a chance to reach that level someday.
He does, Greg, and I think we always look through KG's legacy being defined by passion, commitment, and leadership. That was as important as his basketball skill. Karl Anthony Towns is similarly talented, right? I think the key is he just needs to find consistency. That's the last step.
Here's Layman. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Pass to Wiggins. Kleba with the rebound. Mavericks leading by 12. Now Barea. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Here's Powell. Over Jang. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Jang's got 4 rebounds now tonight. The pass to Layman. Hardaway with the steal. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, there is a lot of optimism in Dallas for the tandem of Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis said, We clicked right away. We're both European players, similar roots, both speak Spanish. That'll translate on the court. We can be something special. Kevin, look out for them to compliment and criticize one another in a different tongue.
If they play to their potential, they could be scary. Thanks, David. Now here is Hardaway. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Here's a look at the schedule now for Dallas. On Saturday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. And then on Sunday, it'll be the Sacramento Kings coming into town.
And looking at the matchup with the Heat, that's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
Clock is at 3.
Well, disrupting the shooter there, and I really think Wiggins has got the defensive tools to be an impact player on that end.
Here's Layman, guarded by Jackson. Layman kicks to Napier. Over Hardaway. From the high post, he drills it. Napier's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, it doesn't get much easier than that. Even a decent shooter is going to make that with no pressure.
And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Hardaway with the bounce pass. Here's Powell. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Jang's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Layman. Good, and it's Napier with the assist that time. Layman's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Timberwolves. Here's Barea, and the rejection by Jang.
Well, the timing, a very natural aspect of what Gorgui Dieng does on the defensive end.
It's tipped. Layman pass to Covington. Wiggins outside. Second chance shot.
Now a chance to see the numbers for Hardaway. His last 10 games, he's around 10 points per game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. I mean, the numbers aren't bad on their own, but he knows that he can help this team in a bigger way.
And sometimes it comes down to the flow of the offense. One night it's your night, another night perhaps it's somebody else's.
Out of Würzburg, Germany, undrafted Maxi Kleber with a strong start, Doris, to his career.
Incredible to think he grows up in the same small town as Dirk Nowitzki, and he first meets Dirk when he's 12 years old. What an amazing story for them to become teammates on the Mavericks. So cool.
Timberwolves trail by 10. And here's Napier. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Now, here's Culver. Not a lot of room. 14 feet away. And that one is off. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Oh, man, still a goose egg for him in the scoring column.
Here's Hardaway. Wiggins with the rebound. Wiggins has got his 5th rebound in this one. To the right side. Here's Napier. Sinks the three-pointer. Napier's got 7 now in this quarter.
Well, a tough first quarter for this guy. You like to see the shot go in. Nicely done.
Right outside. And the dunk by Powell.
You have got to commend Powell on his positioning. I tell you, he buries himself deep, and he's going to sky for that slam dunk.
So it's the Timberwolves now. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. Here's Napier. And the shot goes in. Napier's got 9 points.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Right outside. The dish to Jackson. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. The 15th pick back in 2017, Justin Jackson, Doris, won a championship, as you know, at North Carolina.
Yeah, Kevin, he spent his first season and a half in Sacramento. Now he gets a new opportunity. Sometimes it's that next stop where young players really find success.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
Here's Wright following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Pass to Kleba. Back to Brunson. Great D that time from T. Minnesota with the ball. They're on a 15-6 run. Napier kicks to Towns. It's stolen by Marjanovic. Here's Jackson. Count that bucket. Jackson's got 5 points so far. Now here's Napier. 9 points in the game so far. Pass to Culver. Now Towns. Napier with it. Clock at 6. To the inside. Bell. It's rebounded by Dallas. Marjanovic has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Runs in the pass to Marjanovic. A wide open look here for Wright. Another 3 for Dallas.
Well, he showed right there. This guy capable of making shots, especially if you leave him that wide open.
Now here's Teague. Brunson covering. Pass to Bell. To the paint. And Towns throws it down.
Oh, the defense has got to do more than that. Karl Anthony Towns embarrassing them.
And Wright kicks to Jackson. The kick out to Wright. And he's way off from outside. Timberwolves trail by 9. Teague the pass to Towns. And that one drops. Towns has got 4 points in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
There's the pass to Jackson. Marjanovic against Towns. Here's Kleba. Offline with his 3.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him.
And some changes here for the Mavericks. Porzingis, he's checked in for Maxi Kleba. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Justin Jackson. The Timberwolves shooting 47% in the second quarter. Teague dishes to Culver. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Porzingis.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
He makes 1 of 2 that time. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
And Minnesota has possession. The Mavericks making the shot. Teague left side. And the rejection by Marjanovic. Right, that's a two-pointer. Offensive rebound. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Yeah, a nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
There is so much to love about Kristaps Porzingis. Over 7 feet, sweet shooting jumper, but aggression. This guy will back down from no one.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And Doris, Porzingis not only quick to adapt to the NBA game, but also the culture.
I think it helps, Kevin, that he got tutored in the English language starting in grade school. And think about it, Kevin. This man wore his hair in cornrows back then, emulating the NBA players he saw. So both linguistically, culturally, and basketball-wise, it wasn't too big an adjustment for him.
And both free throws good for Porzingis.
Well, so much of the last few seasons have been lost time for Kristaps Porzingis. That ACL injury and then working back from it in the 2019 campaign, never an easy road to start it.
Credit the defense right there. They have not allowed this guy to get going at all in this period.
And the dunk by Porzingis.
How about the height and the length and the athleticism of Kristaps Porzingis? Barely has to jump to throw that down.
Timberwolves trail by 12. Greg, with all the time that Porzingis has missed, it's easy to forget just how dominant he is when he's healthy.
KP is one of the few game-changing talents in our league. He can carry an offense and boost an entire team's defense with his presence on the floor.
And stolen by Vonleh. Pushing it up. Here's Culver. Here's Teague. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's on Porzingis.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
And last year, a tough one for Jeff Teague. Just couldn't put together his normal level of play.
You know, Teague missed some games with injury, but his shot just wasn't consistent. His passing and playmaking were as strong as ever, but you just couldn't rely on him to score.
The first one falls.
We know this about the Dallas Mavericks. They will put every piece of data and information to use in terms of trying to get an advantage. Think about it, guys. They are now doing blood tests, trying to head off injury for their players. They believe this gives them a clearer picture into the overall health of their athletes.
Here's Teague. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. 1:09 left here in the second. He kicks it to Towns. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 3 assists in the game. Here's Barea. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It goes on Noah Vonleh.
Boy, and the foul. Doncic has got great upper body strength, completes the play. Nicely done.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
One shot.
And I think for Luka Doncic, one thing he showed right away is he was prepared to be an NBA player. And the fact of the matter is he could be an all-star for a long time moving forward.
Now here's Towns. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Memphis.
And we can't forget his dominance on defense, guys. His shot blocking altered the entire game.
Dallas leading by 10. 29 seconds left in the second quarter. Barea kicks to Porzingis, shoots over Culver, and it's off the back rim, no good. In it goes after missing his first 7, now shooting 1 for 8 this game.
I'll tell you, Culver has an array of moves once he gets into the paint.
Pass to Brunson. And stolen by Vonleh. And so it's Dallas in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party started.
Okay.
Luka Doncic has been the story in this one. He ended up with 15 points, 5 assists, and 1 rebound. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. Shaq, what's your take on Dallas?
Straight out of Slovenia, Luka Doncic already exceeding expectations. Tremendous awareness and skill, just enough athleticism. Worked his magic again in the first half. This kid is incredible.
Kenny, let's get your input on the Timberwolves.
Well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their spots and making them feel uncomfortable. But if someone takes something away from you, you have to be able to adapt. So they need a whole new game plan because right now they're in trouble.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
He had a fast pass to the lane that first half. Got inside on demand.
Now, this guy is such a good finisher on the move, and so far the defense has not been able to counter it.
Now Towns checking out the group now for Ryan Saunders to start the second half. Vonleh and Towns, the duo inside. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. And it's Culver in at the 3 slot. Now here's Wright after the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. Doncic finds Porzingis. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got 6 assists here tonight.
It hasn't mattered the scheme or the defender. Kristaps Porzingis is simply cooking right now.
And it's Teague with the ball, but he brings it up for the Timberwolves. Trailing by 10. Very pretty alley-oop layup.
Oh, just a picture-perfect alley-oop. You gotta love that one, Kevin.
A little surprised, Greg. He didn't go for the big slam, but it works just the same. And right, here we go. The wide-open look here for Porzingis. Here's Marjanovic. Here's Doncic. It's rebounded by Teague. Teague's got 4 rebounds now tonight. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in.
And he's easily been their best rebounder tonight.
He's competed for every missed shot. Feels like he's quicker to the basketball than anyone else out there.
Here's Hardaway. Jeff Teague with the rebound. And the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Timberwolves trail by 8. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Wiggins against Doncic.
Boy, as slow a start as you could have. Just 1 for 4 from the field. They're struggling.
Right, looking around, passes it to Marjanovic. Doncic outside. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
Well, I absolutely love the way this guy has controlled the pace tonight. They've been able to play the style they want.
The Timberwolves have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Outside, Towns. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so 1 free throw coming up.
Well, battling hard. That's an impressive move by Towns. He'll go to the stripe. Boy, when you think about the skill that Karl Anthony Towns has, you realize he's just getting started in the league. His future is truly off the charts. By the midpoint of his career, we could be talking about him as one of the most skilled big men to ever play the game.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
The free throw drops for Towns. And with the offensive tool set of Karl Anthony Towns, Doris, he could see MVP consideration in the future.
Well, what we know about Karl Anthony Towns certainly is that each and every night he has a major impact for his team. And consider, he's still growing as a player and ironing out some areas. But this guy is going to be a star for a long time, no doubt.
Here's Teague following the score by Dallas. Pass to Towns. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. And that's now 19 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Mavericks leading by 7. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. And Doncic, here we go. Hardaway with a wide open look. Buries the long-range jumper. Hardaway's got 5 now.
I just love how confident Tim Hardaway Jr. is from long distance. This guy will cash in from there.
Timberwolves trail by 10. Teague the pass to Towns. The shot missing. And it's Dallas the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. To the inside. Porzingis passes to Marjanovic. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
I think this is a spot he has got to become more consistent from if you want to command the defender's respect.
Culver's shot is off. Dallas has gotten fewer than half of their 3-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. And Doncic gets it to go.
If he sees a lane to the rim, Doncic will capitalize. Nice drive.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Right against Teague. The floater. Porzingis with the block. Doncic passes to Wright. And they pick up 2. He's got 14.
What a pass by Luka Doncic. He's got tremendous size, and obviously they want the ball in his hands.
Timberwolves trail by 14. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Teague. No good. They had a chance to end the run there. For Dallas, they've gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. That's good from Doncic on the assist from Hardaway. 21 points for Luka Doncic.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Minnesota calls timeout. Of course, you and I were just talking about this as more and more players are going public with their trade requests. Do you think that's had a negative impact on the game?
Well, Kevin, I certainly think it makes long-term planning for NBA franchises a lot more difficult because contractually we are not seeing them hold true to the particular organization they may have signed that contract with. The reality is this in today's NBA. You've got to be nimble as an organization, and you have got to be attractive to them. And I mean that with great ownership, great leadership, and who are the players currently in your system. You have got to be incredibly nimble to be successful in today's NBA.
I think you're right on.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Napier. He's got 9. Here's the floater. Porzingis with the block.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead. Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love, Greg, is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Napier kicks to Lehman. Back to Napier. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
You know, one dilemma that jumps out at me with the Timberwolves, over the years, they have been an excellent offensive rebounding team. It's the other end, the defensive backboards, where they have had some problems.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. And Doris, you're right. Over the last 5 seasons, the Timberwolves have been the absolute worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA.
And it's hard to understand, Kevin, because they have created second chance opportunities for themselves only to give it back on the other end. That's the kind of thing that can be demoralizing for your defense. You get a stop, but you don't finish the possession with a rebound. That can wear you out physically and mentally. Boy, you consider the Dallas Mavericks last season missing the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. That ties their 2nd longest playoff drought in franchise history. You've got to believe this is a group that's highly motivated.
Connects from 3-point range. Hardaway's got a pair of threes now here in the 3rd for the Mavs. And here's Napier. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. They'll be off to Oklahoma City for a meeting with the Thunder after this one. And that'll be game 2 of 4 straight on the road. The pass to Wiggins. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Napier. He's guarded closely. And the Mavericks a proud franchise. Doris looking to get back into the playoffs this season.
No doubt, Kevin. They have reloaded with young star talent. Kristaps Porzingis, already an all-star. Luka Doncic, the rookie of the year. I think this is a group ready to make some noise.
Now here's Wiggins. 9 points in the game so far. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Wright. And the dunk by Powell.
The speed on the break from Powell right now, just booking down the court and getting to the basket.
The Timberwolves shooting just 31% in the game. Back to Napier. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Napier's got 13.
There is an imagination, a creativity. This guy's passing drives the offense.
Right side. Hardaway, no good. Timberwolves trail by 21. Here's Lehman. Dishes it to Jang. Back to Lehman. Makes it off the glass. Lehman's got his 2nd basket of the night.
Well, Gorgui Dieng, as a big man, is an excellent passer. That's a pretty look.
Wright, the pass to Porzingis. Back to Wright. Powell for 3. Offensive rebound. Bell with the block.
Well, you've got that length and athleticism. Put it to good use, Jordan Bell.
And that one misses from Lehman. Dallas leading by 19 points. Doncic dishes to Powell. And the dunk by Powell.
Yeah, he's shown terrific control of the pace and the rhythm of this offense.
And I think they count on him for that, Greg. He is a tone setter, extremely unselfish.
And Minnesota has possession following the score by Dallas. Here's Napier. That one wide left.
Boy, he'll usually knock it down if he's left that wide open. Just comes up empty.
Doncic passes to Hardaway. And the rejection by Jang. Here's Lehman. He dishes it to Jang. to Lehman. Shoots over Doncic. Another miss by Minnesota.
And this is a shot he can definitely make, and the defense not a factor at all.
Right, the pass to Porzingis. The shot's good. Porzingis has got 6 points in the quarter.
You know, Kev, I think you can see the strength that Porzingis has been developing over the early part of his career. That progress is showing up on a nightly basis.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Minnesota calls timeout.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
And the Mavericks with some changes. Jalen Brunson comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Barea subbed in for DeLon Wright. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Robert Covington's checked in for Lehman. Now here's Napier. He's got 13. Here's Wiggins. It's rebounded by Porzingis. Porzingis has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Doncic kicks to Barea. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
And his free throws are falling at a rate of only about 72% on the season. Not terrible, but listen, you obviously would expect him to do better.
Free throw, no good for Barea.
And for a franchise searching for stability, it doesn't help that the Wolves have had a number of head coaching changes.
Well, obviously, the Wolves aren't alone in that problem, Greg. I think it can be difficult to identify just the right kind of leadership. And when you do get someone like Greg Popovich or Eric Spoelstra or Rick Carlisle, you try to hold on for dear life.
The Timberwolves have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
And the technical free throw, missing that time. They'll retain possession here, however.
You'd be hard-pressed to find an area where Zhang's growth has not been seen. No longer a guy you can send to the line.
Here is Bell. Inside. And Zhang gets it to go. Zhang's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, the definition of a high-percentage shooter. Terrific touch by Gorgui Zhang.
Barea, the pass to Brunson. Powell with it. Pass to Barea. Shoots over Covington. Again, the Mavericks score.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Here's Wiggins. 9 points in the game so far. .149 left in the third. It's rebounded by Dallas. Powell's got his 5th rebound in this one.
This guy just can't find his rhythm, and you look up at the scoreboard, they absolutely need his productivity.
And watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim. Doncic comes with the double team. Covington kicks to Napier. Back to Covington. 1:21 left in the third quarter of the game. Fast break, here we go. And here is Barea outside. No good, shot missing. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. And here's Napier. 13 points in the game. Slammed home, and they call the foul. He's headed to the stripe for one more.
And Jordan Bell is one of those guys willing to mix it up in the interior. That is nice.
And when you think of Jordan Bell, you think of a do-it-all big man.
specifically how strong he is on defense. Great timing for blocking shots, good hands, and can guard anybody out on the floor. Can finish plays as well when moving at the hoop.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Culver's checked in for Andrew Wiggins, and it's Teague in for Napier.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Now here's Powell. 8 points for him.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Passes it to Culver. Timberwolves passing it around. Pass to Bell. Now here's Culver. Here's Jang. It's rebounded by Dallas. Powell's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Brunson. And the layup's good off the glass.
Hard to imagine them losing this game if they can keep shooting like that.
Three seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Teague against Barea. Teague can't hit.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Well, the best players to me deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot, keep riding it.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. The Mavericks on top, opening up a huge gap. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our 4th quarter coming up next. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Lee out there with J.J. Barea. Then there's Jackson, and it's Finney-Smith in at the 4. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Bell with the block. Doris, isn't it interesting that we're seeing some teams with more 3-point attempts than 2-point attempts?
It's incredible, Kevin, that every year over the last decade you see more 3-point attempts across all 30 NBA teams. And think about the Houston Rockets. In each of the last 2 years, the Rockets have actually taken more 3s than 2s. This is the evolution of the game. It is not going anywhere. There's 2 high-valued shots in the league. Restricted area 2s, that means point-blank opportunities at the rim, and 3-point shots. And everything else in between seems to be getting lost.
And so it's Barea with it. He'll bring it up for the Mavericks. Just over a minute played here in the 4th. Here's Kleba. Another 3 for Dallas.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
Timberwolves have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the 4th quarter. Here's Okogie. Teague with a clean look. And he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline. Dallas has gone 2 for 2 from 3-point land to start the 4th quarter. Lee outside. Kicks it to Jackson. 6 to shoot. Kleba, the pass to Finney-Smith. Over Bell. Finney-Smith can't get it to go. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Here's Okogie, covered by Lee. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And Doris, last season, rookie Josh Okogie ended up contributing more than the franchise thought he would.
Yeah, he was terrific as a 3-and-D player for the Wolves. This guy could end up being the steal of the draft, sort of in that Robert Covington mold.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good.
Well, you think the ownership style of the Mavericks, something the league had to adjust to. Very active, very outspoken. Sometimes I think that rubbed people the wrong way. But now you get the sense it's almost the new normal.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And the Mavericks, we know, have been trendsetters, investing in development and in technology.
Kevin, they have always been on the cutting edge of data collection and then using that data to give them a competitive advantage. When you're in a business, it's always about what's next? How can I be better?
Jackson looking around. Graham with the rebound.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
And the pass to Okogie. Teague against Barea. Lets a floater go. Kleba with the rebound. Kleba's got his 5th rebound in this one. It's tipped. Here's Jackson. Buries it down low.
Boy, nice shot. He didn't need the fadeaway to create separation, though. He was wide open.
Here's Okogie with the teardrop. Here's Bell. And Lee pulls it down for Dallas. They've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Pass to Finney-Smith. Here's the teardrop. Rebound, Minnesota. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Well, listen, dunking is not just for the bigs, right? How about your point guard, Jeff Teague, finishing with authority? Nice.
Teague against Barea. He feeds it to Lee. Rebounded by Bell. Bell's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Graham kicks to Teague. Teardrop shot. Out of hand on it. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Of course, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
The free throw drops for Lee.
Now, this guy's a tremendous free throw shooter. You'd just like to see Lee get to the line a little bit more often.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Layman's checked in. And both free throws good for Lee. Here's Okogie. Passes to Teague. Here's Reed. Now here's Teague. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Here's Layman. The three-pointer off the mark.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Got a piece of it. It's out of bounds. They are saying it was last touch by Lee.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
Yeah, the anticipation was there. The hustle was there. Very close to picking that one.
Ryan Brokoff's checked in for the Mavericks. Pass to Reed. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got his 7th assist in the game.
They are just killing him on the interior.
There's the pass to Finney-Smith. And here's Barea. Here's Kleba. Takes a 3. It's deflected. Doris, all right, this is going to come out of the blue here, but if you had to choose between raising the height of the basket or widening the floor or even widening the lane, which would it be?
I have very strong feelings on this, Kevin, and for me it would be widening the floor. And the reason I say that is it feels to me in the last couple of years there are more sideline violations where teams are turning it over because they're trying to get to that corner 3, one of the most advantageous, best shots in today's game. But because that three-point line is so close to the sideline out of bounds, we're seeing too many violations. So if I had to choose between one or the other, I would absolutely widen the floor.
Here's Brokoff. For the 3. That shot, no good. Great D that time from Teague. Okogie for 3. And Brokoff pulls it down.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
And you know what? They keep calling his number, and they're simply trying to get him out of this funk.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Pass to Reed. Here's Okogie. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. They get Courtney Lee. No good on that one. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
Here's Layman. Passes it to Napier. Back to Layman. The tray. Kleba with the rebound. Kleba's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Here's Brokoff. Napier covering. Barea with it. And there's the call on Jake Layman. That's his first foul.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Mavericks making a switch here. Brunson's checked in. Minnesota also with the sub. Graham's checked in. The fader. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Bell's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Graham dishes to Bell. Napier passes to Okogie. Now Graham. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. You know, Doris, you and I love history. And we were talking the other day, you and I, about Bill Russell and his 11 championship rings. Do you think anyone's ever going to break that record?
I think it'll be close to impossible, Kevin, and the reason is, number one, there were so many fewer teams back then for Bill Russell, in no way diminishing the greatness of one of the game changers, both between the lines and outside the lines. Bill Russell will always be an historic figure, but it's very tough to compare eras. There's now 30 teams, nutrition, conditioning, coaching. There's just so much more information in the current era.
Runs in the pass to Brokoff. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Takes the 13-footer. That shot no good. And Minnesota now the other way. Here's a Kogi. Good, and it's Napier with the assist that time. Napier's got 4 assists now tonight. Dallas has gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Lee passes to Brunson. Here's Finney-Smith, defended by Bell. They need this one. No good from Lee.
Well, you can't buy a bucket. Shut out completely so far, and yet they're still ahead.
They get it back. Napier, and there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
Boy, the work ethic on the offensive glass just refuses to give up on that possession.
Runs in the pass to Lee. Doris, you and I are faced with this a lot, voting for the MVP. Great stats versus winning. Where do you stand on that when you vote for the league MVP?
Well, winning could be the definitive line if I have 2 candidates who are close. For instance, for me, this last MVP came down to James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I took it to the last possible moment. And I could have gone in either direction and been comfortable. Ultimately, I went with Giannis, and the deciding factor came down to he led his team to the best record in the league. It was a difficult vote, but ultimately it's one category which helps tilt me in one direction or another.
And I did too, and what also helped me was just the improvement defensively they had made, and I know Antetokounmpo was a very big part of it.
No, it's a great point. He was a two-way force.
And the first one drops. He's off on the second. The Mavericks shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. To the middle, here's Brunson. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there. Here's a Kogi. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for the Mavericks. Pass to Brokoff. Back to Brunson. 1:52 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Kleba, and he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Napier. Made that one as his 7th of the contest, 7 for 15 from the floor. 1:41 left to play here in the fourth. Brunson scanning the floor. Now the pass to Brokoff. Back to Brunson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Can't get it to fall. The Timberwolves shooting only 35% in the fourth quarter. The offense looking a little rickety.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Mavericks.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Luka Doncic.
Efficient productivity. You love what this guy has given to you on the offensive end.
And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. On defense, Minnesota. No good from Lee. We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And the first one at the line is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent passing.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync. Convincing lead with very little time remaining, and the fans are pumped.
Well, they're getting ready to celebrate, no doubt, GA. They know it's theirs to lose at this point.
Pass to Okogie. Doubled by Lee. Good. Nice play there from Napier.
And you can appreciate the fight now, but it isn't how they came into the game.
No doubt. It felt like they were a little tight for much of the evening. Now they're in a better flow, but it may be too little too late.
And here's Brunson. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. KP, you guys got out on a break tonight. How did you get into transition so easily?
Yeah, we want to play faster, and that's what we try to do whenever they miss. We try to run, move the ball quick, and get easy buckets.
And you were able to beat them down the floor tonight, KP. Thanks a lot for your time. Kevin, back to you.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.